Shit. Whatever. Alright. Hello everyone, I'm Lieutenant Hummus. This is Intermediate Python Class 2. Hey, someone in chat, tell me when 3 minutes are up. Just like spam 3 minutes are up, because it's for important things, don't worry about it. Great. So last time we talked about classes, right? So we talked about, you have a class which represents, kind of like a group of variables, right? We talked about fields. We talked about having a card class, right? That was something like, let me make that a little bit bigger. That was something like class, card, and then you had like this kind of initialization method called underscore underscore init underscore underscore that takes like self and then some parameters like rank and then suit, and then you can do self dot rank equals rank, self dot suit equals suit, right? So we have some fields and we have some parameters. Okay, let's see if I can just draw this out, just so we can kind of clarify and make sure that we're all on the same page. Make the font bigger. There you go.
Oh, look, you have a login now on Replit.
I do. Like I said, they gave me a thing. I know, right? Isn't that cool? They're so nice.
You could probably make your window a little bit bigger so that
Oh yeah, I don't know why it's so small. Because I don't know how to monitor. Alright, there we go. That's better. Okay, does that work? Yeah, son. Alright, cool. So basically, if I can draw... Alright, sweet. So, okay, so basically... Get adjusted to my chair here. Ah, crap. Where's the twiddler? There we are. Right, so basically what this does, right, is we have a class, or let's actually write something else here real quick. Let's do def, description, return, I don't know. Self dot rank, yeah, stir self dot rank plus of plus self dot suit, right? And then we have like C equals card, 8 hearts. Okay, so what does this do, right? This, you have this variable, you have this kind of box, right? And it says in it, suit equals hearts. Sorry for the shit handwriting. And then rank equals 8. Right? We're all kind of here-ish. This makes some sense to people. Yes? No? Type yes, Hail Hummus in chat if this makes sense to you. And type Hummus, you're a shit teacher if you're...
My timer just went off for 3
Oh,
minutes.
thank you. Thank you.
Gosh, you're...
Oh my gosh, you're all so wonderful. Thank you. Cheers to that. Heil Hummus. Right, so this makes sense, right? You kind of have, these things, the self dot means the thing contained inside that object, like our self, right? And it's going to be very important to kind of make sure, like if you have any questions, please ask now, because what we're going to talk about today is going to make this like a bit more complex. Okay? I appreciate that, Split77. I appreciate it. All right, I'll wait.
What was your question?
What question?
While you wait for an answer. What concept are you asking about again?
Oh, so okay, so you understand that, like, we have, this kind of variable, right, C, that points at this box that contains something that has a suit. Whoop, let's, is there an undo? Ah, fuck. There's an erase, that's good. Oh, God, and I'll just rewrite it all, fuck it. Whoop. That has, oh, right. Alright, that has, suit equals hearts, and then rank equals 8. Right? So this all makes sense. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So we have this kind of box. It's got a suit field, and now I'll do what I actually meant to do. It's got a suit field and it's got a rank field, right? This all makes sense? Yeah, I think last time I had it pulled back. And then there's also this little method on here called description. I'll just abbreviate it. That when you call it, it takes no parameters and it will return. So what will description return? Who can tell me what this will return? If I called C, if I say print C dot description, what will this print?
I know
I know what it'll print too.
it. Waiting for chat.
Waiting for tonight.
Oh God.
Whoa. Don't say anything that reminds me of a song, please.
Don't say anything.
Just don't say anything. Don't say anything. Say you will. Alright, good. So this prints 8 of hearts, right? Because we call it... Okay, so now here's the question. Here's the real question. How come on line 6 I have this self argument? Like, what the hell is this self crap? Like, where does that come from? You may be asking. Don't worry, we're going to get to that today. We're going to get to, like, what the hell is this self crap? But keep in mind, I mean, we talked about this in the... like in the kind of the last part of the beginning, the beginner's course when we really first started talking about classes, that this self is, something that needs to be there when you're calling methods that work on these objects, that work on these boxes. Okay? Cool. So no questions here. Everything good? Yeah, so self is itself, right? So like if I say, another card equals card, 10 diamonds. Let's see, what's the top card? 3 hearts. Nope, that's a shit card. 10 of diamonds, right? And I did print another card dot description. So when I call this line, right? So when we call C dot description on line 11, then we go into description here. This self. So basically, what we've done. Let me kind of got it. Whoop! I've gotten ahead of myself. God. So what we've done is we've created another box, right? That has suit diamonds. I'm not going to write the whole thing out. And rank 10. And it's got... and it's got the little description thing here, right? And of course, if you called description, it would say, 10 of diamonds, right? I hope that is clear. So, and then what we do is we have this thing called another card that points at that. Okay, so what we've done here, right, is we've created 2 objects. We've created 2 cards in memory. One that's, C, and then one that's another card. So when we say C.description, when we go into description, self just becomes the name for, like, the object that we're currently talking about, right? It is C in this case. When we call another card.description, self becomes, like, another card. And I may go, like, depending on time today, we may go into, why that is and what the fuck that means. But for now, just kind of accept it. This is just the way it is. All right, any questions about that?
In other languages, you might know it as this.
Yeah, other languages call it this. Like Java calls it this. A bunch of other languages call it this. JavaScript calls it this? Yeah, it does, because we were talking about the lexical.
Yes, it does.
Right, because we were talking about lexical this before class started.
Which is really hard to talk about, by the way, if you're trying to have a sentence with this.
Yes, yeah. It is.
Self is a little bit easier.
Yeah, it is. But that's okay.
This.
All right, so I'm going to give, like, oh no. All right, I'm going to give, like, another half a second for, like, any questions, and then we're going to move on. I want to take a quick peek at some folks' homework, answer some questions that people had in the homework, and then we're going to move on. Yeah, BTM. Bind a delegate and whatever. Yeah, I know, the fat arrow operator. It's good. Don't worry. Well, we're not going to talk about this because Python does other things. All right. Cool. We're good? All right, I see no questions. Let's look at some homework. So, for those who don't remember, the homework was to basically. Thank you, Lopsidation.
Banana bread.
Banana bread. All right. Anyway, so let's take a look at some homework. So the homework was to basically flesh out the card class, or use the one I provided, and create a hand class. So this is Wolf Darrigan's. Essentially, so they kind of. So Wolf Darrigan gave every suit a number. So club 0, hearts 1, diamonds 2, spades 3. And then all of the ranks, numerical values 2 through 14. Switch back there. You want me to test it in stream? Yeah, it works. Just don't do that. Please, for the love of Christ. For the love of God, don't do that. God. Alright, anyway. What were we talking about? So, Wolf Darrigan gave everything a numerical value. I like that, you know. Pretty nice. It makes this kind of easy, so you don't have to worry about like typos, right? Because like if I had a typo here and I said like blah, 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 like that, like yeah, sure, that'll be fine. It'll still run, but you know this is kind of meaningless. Why does it work? That's one of those things that goes along with the maybe we'll get into. Why not use banana? Oh my God, no!
Oh no!
God,
Look what you did.
look what. God damn it, Lopsidation. All right, so let's take a look at. So we have this class card. We have the constructor, this init method. Sometimes I'll try to call this. I'll try to call this the init method. Some languages will call it the constructor, so I may use those terms interchangeably. So we take self again because we need to, suit and rank. Self.suit equals suit, self.rank equals rank. The description, so we do this little kind of if statement to translate from the number. So if you go down here, we'll see we create a card, right? And we use this thing called card.clubs. What this is we're saying, okay, go inside the card and use this variable. We haven't really talked about scoping like this, but you know, that's kind of something you can do. So you can say like card.clubs, card.hearts. So that way you don't have to worry about spelling errors, right? If I try to say like card. You know, this, and I like misspelled, like this just won't run, right? It'll say like, oh, hey, this isn't a thing that exists. So that's why Wolf Darrigan did that instead of just kind of using strings. So Wolf Darrigan also implemented a bunch of other things that we've kind of talked about, like we've talked about, you know, the equals sign, or the, whoops, move this over here. So we've talked a little bit about, you know, overloading equals equals. Nothing too here interesting. We've talked a little bit about a hash, but the real homework assignment here was the hand class, right? So something to kind of hold all these cards together. So let's see what Wolf Darrigan did. So in the constructor, it doesn't take any method. Well, it takes the implicit self, which is fine. And then we've created this field called holding, which is an empty list. And then our add card method takes the, you know, the implicit self parameter, as it always has to, and the card you want to add. And essentially, we ignore this. This is just Wolf Darrigan has prevented it, so you can't have, say, 2 of like 7 of diamonds.
You can't cheat.
You
Your
can't
hand
cheat.
can't have
Well, what if
4.
you're playing a game that has like more than one deck mixed together? You know, just saying, doesn't matter. I mean, this is a totally fine decision. And then basically, you know, self.holding.append. Because these fields you can use just like variables, right? You can append to them just fine. Remove card, same thing. And then display hand is just a nice little thing where we just print out everything in that list. So that was really cool. Let's see, who else's did I want to see? Was it this one? Oh, let's see the long comment.
That is correct, banana. Or split.
Yes, you are a banana. What's up? Oh, yeah, Elvis. Super fun games. Very, very fun.
Hi, Elvis Snake.
Let's see. Whose was this? Oh yeah. So this is another interesting one that I saw. So this card class actually takes a card, and instead of having two arguments like a rank and a rank and a suit, what this person did is essentially they use the numbers 0 to 51 and do some math to figure out what the suit and what the value is. And I thought that was a really cool thing. So those were just some homeworks I wanted to highlight. And Wolf Darrigan, this is makes a really interesting hash if you kind of think about it. Anyway, so that's kind of the deal. Whoops. So just real quick, if I was to kind of re-implement this, just real quick, you can do like a really simple thing: class hand, the init. So I like the self dot hand equals like the empty array, and then def like add card self.card, self.hand.append card, and then we'll actually just do this def.print hand. Or we'll do actually get hand. Oops, self return self dot. Actually, yeah, we'll just do. Okay, so what this dot join thing does is it basically says take take everything in this list and kind of smush it together and use what I put in front of the dot as the separator. So like if I have, A equals 1, 2, 3, or let's do, hello, goodbye, and then I say and dot join A, whoops, it'll say hello and goodbye, right? It'll take hello, goodbye, it'll shove this string in the middle of them and then return the whole thing. So consequently, if I do hello, goodbye, good morning, whoops, morning, and then I say and dot join B, that'll say hello and goodbye and good morning, right? So this is just a really neat way of printing out a list. Anyway, so now we can do something like, well, we'll create some cards, and then you can do something like hand equals hand, and then hand dot add card C, hand dot add card another card, and if we whoops, and then we'll do print hand dot. Actually, get hand is really terrible. There we go. As string. Yes, I know it can be like the stir methods. Oh no, what'd I do? What'd I fucking break? Line 26. Oh shit, what'd I break? Oh, fuck me. Alright, I clearly broke something and I can't think about it.
Your join?
Is my join? Oh, yeah, let's see. Let's make sure that does what I expected. Oh, yeah. How about this? Oh, I wonder if it's not happy because I've... Yeah, okay, no, that's fine because I have 2 cards. Alright, we're good. So let's see. Just make sure that works as I expect. Oh, right, because I don't have a way to turn this into a string. Right, okay, that's why. Nope, we're fine. Yep. Okay, so basically what it's doing is it's complaining because I have like an array of these card objects, but it's like I don't know how to make this a string, so we can just do this. Oh, actually...
Thank you, Cookie.
Oh, fuck. Oh, maybe not. Damn. I'm very confused now. Oh, okay, so this, okay, so I guess join, join only works on, that's sad, only works on arrays of strings. Alright, fine. Damn it. Alright. So, okay, so join only works on arrays of strings. It doesn't even, wow, it doesn't convert like that? I thought it would. Alright, anyway, that's not the point. So the point is, everyone kind of understands what's going on here, right? We're creating this list, and then we're just kind of adding things to it, and you can do, def.remove card, and we can fill that in. Whoops. This can be filled in. All right. So we have methods. We have like a constructor. Any questions about that so far? And now we're gonna look at some new stuff. Ow. Da, 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 da. Yeah. Well, that's not the homework, but we're gonna see. Yeah, what's up, Zabranth? I know. I mean, what you could. Okay. Wait, Zabranth. Oh, where's my beard? Oh, yeah, it's gone. I shaved it. Yeah. So Wolf Darrigan, you could use like a list comprehension to explicitly convert everything into a string. That's totally a thing that can happen. All right, so let's talk about something new. Delete this. Yeah. Okay. So we've talked about classes, and we've talked about you can have methods in classes, right? So if I have class, yeah. So let's go back to class card. Let's actually remake our card class, because why not? I don't know how many times I've done this. Oh, right. And I'm gonna keep it super simple. Just we've talked about like ways you can make this cleaner by using like predefined ints and all that. I'm just gonna make it super simple real quick and just make everything strings. So self.rank equals rank, self.suit equals suit. All right. So now what I want to do is I want to make a deck class, right? So we want to make a class that represents a deck, right? So real quick, what are some methods that you think we should have on this deck class? Like if you were going to make a deck class, like if I told you like, hey, here's a deck class, what are some methods you would expect for it to have?
Wolf says shuffle.
Wolf says shuffle, that's a good one. Sort, maybe. Okay, get back. Deal. All right, that's fair.
Those are all the ones that I thought of too.
Shuffle, shuffle, sort, deal. Get card by suit. Okay, that's fair. Like find a specific card. Yeah, that makes sense. Length. All right, number of cards in the deck. Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, deal n cards. So you could have like deal one card or deal like several cards. Sure. Pogo sort. Bury a card. All right. All right. So these are some good ones. So let's go ahead. Let's make a class deck. Def init, and then we're going to do. I'm gonna do it this way. Yeah. So we can do self dot deck is the empty string, and then we can do something like suits equals hearts, diamonds, clubs, and spades, and then like ranks equals ace 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 whoops 8 9 10 jack, I guess all lowercase to keep it going, queen, king. And then you can do like some for S in suits, for R in ranks, self.deck.append, card, RS. Okay. Okay. So, does Python do overloaded constructors? Kind of, not in any sort of easy. Oh wait, or am I just complaining about JavaScript? Because JavaScript doesn't. Like JavaScript's method overloading, I was complaining about yesterday, I think. Let's. So in general, you can't. If you want to do an overloaded constructor in Python, you can do like static methods or class methods that will that'll basically do what you want. What's up, Almighty One? How you doing? Okay, so let's talk about this deck class real quick, and then I'm actually going to do print Actually, let's do this just real quick. Oh, whoops. Self.suit. Okay. And let's just make sure this works. Oh, come on. All right. I was salty. I was really mad. I thought you automatic. Hold on. Python is fun sometimes. Yeah, there we go. All right. So basically, what this does is we create every. So as part of the deck constructor, right? We create an empty list. We have here's all the suits we have. Here's all the ranks we have, and then we just do a simple for loop. So for every suit, and then inside every suit for every rank, just create that card, right? So we have the Ace of Hearts, Two of Hearts, Three of Hearts, Four of Hearts, Five of Hearts, Six of Hearts, Seven of Hearts, Eight of Hearts, Nine of Hearts, Ten of Hearts, Jack, Queen, King, and of Hearts, then Ace of Diamonds, and all the diamonds, and then all the clubs, and then all the spades, right? So this makes sense, right? Does everyone kind of understand that this code, like everyone, this code does what people expect, right? I was salty at JavaScript.
Why were you salty at JavaScript?
Because of overloading. Don't worry about it. Because I'm just a salty person, that's why. Alright, I see a thumbs up. Whoop.
Nice, BTM.
Uh,
Hi, Azulflame. Hi, Almighty One.
Alright, so let's do this. I want you to fill in the deal method. I swear to God, anyone who makes a deal with it joke gets banned. um, so I want you to fill in this deal method that basically takes the top card off the deck and deals it out.
Oh, that's right. You had to use your
Yeah,
arguments.
and I was mad.
I think I was falling asleep at that point.
Yeah, that may have been true.
Azulflame, we are building a deck of cards and giving it behaviors.
And as a hint, I will say, whoop,
Oh, Thunderlord, duck.
So as a hint, there's the tutorial for, or there's like little references for what methods are on lists. Looks like Wolf Darrigan's got a solution. Cool. Wolf Darrigan has a bug. I guess it should be clear that N should return that many cards. So like if I say deal, so like if I did, deck.deal2, that should get me the top 2 cards. If I get deck.deal1, that should get me 1 card. Like 10 should get me 10 cards. Python is 0 index. Zoolflame. God, I have this flash drive at my desk. That's real dangerous. I wonder what's on it. I know what's on it. Stupid.
Data.
Yeah. All right.
Do, do, do. Do you want to bring up that window about data structures?
Which one? Oh, on
The
my
one that you
screen?
linked?
The one I
Yeah.
linked? It's like this one?
Yeah.
I guess I should make it
For
bigger.
for people on mobile or something.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God, you're so smart. So
And
smart.
in case you want to reference it and be like, look.
So we have like append, extend, you have insert, remove, pop, index, count, sort. Well, pop actually doesn't quite do what you want, but you know.
You're welcome, Mr. Swats. I am looking out for the lazy.
Do 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 do.
Really, I just didn't want to click the link.
Oh my god. Alright, let's see what Wolf Darrigan's second shot is. Alright!
You're
God, Wolf
welcome,
Darrigan.
Thunderlord.
Nice. Cool. Alright, I like Wolf Darrigans. I'll give people another minute or two before we reveal the solution. Although I suppose like you can click Wolf Darrigan's link, but I'll wait like another minute. Yeah, you could do that actually. We haven't really talked about default parameters.
What does extend do?
Extend? It says it extends the list. It's basically append with like a bunch of crap.
Oh, okay. So I have two lists, and I want to put one on the other
Yeah, kinda.
at the end of the other, I guess.
So like if you have a well
Hi, Steph.
So yeah, just adds. Just shoves one list onto the end of the other.
Nice.
Alright, so let's take a look at Wolf's code. Actually, I'm just going to copy and paste that right into mine. Alright.
Stolen.
I know, copy and pasting code you find on the internet's like chewing gum you find on the street. I don't remember who said that, but it's around there somewhere. Alright, so anyway, we have the delt. So what Wolf Darrigan does is it creates a little bit of a, kind of a temporary list for all the cards we're going to return. So if you don't remember this slicing notation, this is, the start, and then this is the index you end at, non-inclusive, right? So if this is 1, it's 0 to the index 0 to index 1, but don't actually include the 1, so it's really just index 0. If n was 2, then this is index 0 to index 2, but you don't actually include the 2, so you do 0, 1. And then what this does is this takes things. This is just kind of a shortcut for drop the first n items from the list. Essentially, if you have like nothing after the colon, that just means till the end of the list. So starting at index n, going to the end of the list. Essentially, what that does, and then we return the cards. Oh, we return this list. So we click play. I'll see what happens. Oh, right, I didn't actually copy his little demo code, which I'll do right here. So first we, oh yeah, how about we do that?
Azulflame, if you have any questions, feel free to ask.
Feel free to ask. I like to get distracted. So what do? So first line here, we print the entire deck, which we've seen already. Then we print the deal, which is this one, the Ace of Hearts. Then we deal 5 cards and we print them. So 2 hearts, 3 hearts, 4 of hearts, 5 of hearts, and 6 of hearts. Very good, Wolf Darrigan. Any questions from anyone else in the class, like what makes this tick?
Check your deck now.
And you want me to print the deck? Yeah.
Yeah, to show that it has also been. Those
been
cards
removed.
Don't exist in there anymore.
Yep. So here's the last, and you can see here's our last deck, and it starts with the 7 of hearts because these are all the ones we've dealt out.
Deck.
Yeah, so it goes. Okay, so any questions about that? Okay, so now let's the local variable for the method stays. I'm not quite sure what you mean, Swats.
So Steph and or Azul, what are you guys confused about?
Oh, right. I don't remember if this shuffles in place. Yeah, okay, it does. It's not the same where variables stay local. It is the same where variables stay local. I'm not quite sure what you mean, Mr. SWAT. Yeah, yeah. So like, remember, so we pass in that deck object, right? So, okay, you got it. Yeah. So just to kind of clarify, where's my thing? All right, there it is. Right. So let's erase all this crap. So just to clarify, right? We have this box for the deck, and this and then inside we have this kind of other thing called a deck, right? That has the list of ace, all that crap, right? And then when we call deal, what we do is we are referring that self. Whoops. That self becomes this box, right? Because that's the object we're operating on. We're operating on this kind of collection of things, right? So that's I think that's kind of what you were saying, but I like drawing it out because I like drawing. What can I say? Um, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, that's right. So we want to write a shuffle, and I can't remember if random not shuffle shuffles in place, and it looks like it does. Yeah. All right. Cool. All right. So I'm just gonna write the shuffle method real quick. So we're gonna import random because why the fuck bother to do it ourselves? And then we can do def shuffle. So self, and then we'll just do self.deck. Whoops, actually, random.shuffle self.deck. Okay, so this should hopefully be pretty self-explanatory for you. So if we do deck.shuffle and then print deck.deck, we'll run it again. You can see, whoops, let's actually add a blank line or two. So now you can see we have a shuffle deck. 8 of hearts, 9 of diamonds. Hey, X Jacob, thank you for the follow. So we have, 8 of hearts, 9 of diamonds, 3 of spades, yada, yada, yada. This is a shuffled deck of cards. Okay, so does this make sense, like why this works? Someone in chat literally explain this to me, why this works. Somebody's not Wolf Darrigan. Hey, what's wrong with bash scripting? Hey, thank you, Xomni. Oh, Valiant Cookie. I like this. Except pop pulls from the end, but that's okay.
They're dealing from the bottom.
That's fine. Dealing from the bottom gets you shot in some circles. Alright. Why are you passing self with everything? So Azul Flame. You know how in... Here, let me switch to... You said you know Java, right? So let's talk Java real quick. So in Java, right, where you have something like this, where you have like a public class book, whatever, 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 and then you do something like, hey, Cantien121, thank you for the follow. And then you do something like, you have a method like, I don't know, get description, right? So the self is there, or this is there. Like self and this are basically the same thing. Just Python makes it, it gets passed explicitly, and it gets it passed explicit like that for just kind of the syntactic desugaring that Python does. It has to do with the way like Python interprets calls and the way like things work underneath the surface in Python. But suffice to say, yeah, self is the same thing as this in Java, and you have to like explicitly put it as an argument. So that's all. It's just some syntactic sugar. Like if I didn't have the self, it would actually complain. Oh, well, actually, I don't call deal, so it won't complain. It'll say deal takes exactly one argument, but two are given, right? Because it gives the self and the n, so it kind of puts the self in here for you. So that's why like you don't have to like write anything there. Yeah, so it's basically what Wolf Darrigan said and what Lobsidation said because like the way class calls work internally. Not something we need to you need to really know about for this class, but there it is. Okay, so let's see. Did anyone answer my question? This works because self.deck is just an array of cards, right? And we just do kind of this shuffle thing on the array. So now if I did, we'll print a couple blank lines, and then we do print deck.deal like 10, give me the top 10 cards of the deck, and we have like, a nice little thing going on there. Can you write a member without passing self? No. I mean, if you don't, it's basically it's basically like a static method, right? Kind of. So yeah, anytime you write a instance function or like an instance method, you have to put self. Like it has to be there. It's just the way it is. Okay, so sometimes you want to write methods that don't get exposed to the outside, right? Like we've talked about methods that people outside of the class can use. Like obviously you need to be able to construct it from the outside. Outsiders probably want to be able to deal. Outsiders probably want to be able to shuffle. But say as part of the deal or as part of shuffle, we want to cut the cards, right? Let's just say I don't know. I know this is like really arbitrary and kind of silly. Well, okay. Let's think. Let's see if I can think of a non-arbitrary, non-silly thing. What's something that you would want to do? Okay, let's say we want to do this. No, that's god damn. I can't think of like any sort of private method you would want to put on cards or on a deck. Like I had a good one, and then and now I'm like realizing, oh, that's actually kind of dumb. That's okay. Um, so occasionally you want to write methods that can't be emailing the deck to the NSA. Not quite what I meant by private, but there are some things like you only want to be able to do internally to the deck, right? Like that would make no sense. Like I don't know. Let's think of something. They had it when you they had the deck as soon as I type it in a REPL, yeah, it gets run. Absolutely. Um so let's just say we have something like I don't know, cut the cards. Like cutting the cards for some reason we only want to do internally. So if you have a method that begins with an underscore in Python, this kind of indicates that it's a private method. What this means is I should not be able to write deck.cut. Now, this will actually work because Python does nothing to prevent this. Oh, God, Alfalfa Scout. Fucking great. Alfalfa Scout, that is a perfect example. Screw that example. All right, so Alfalfa's example is make sure that the deck is valid, right? Like make sure that all of the items are cards, right? Whoa. So let's see. Oh, can I do this? Oh, nice. All right. All right. Let's see if I remember. Whoops. Yeah. Whoops. Yeah. All right. Cool. All right. So there's this special method because whoop. Oh, nice, Valiant. So there's this special method in in Python called isInstance. And what isInstance does is you give it a variable and you give it a class, and it will say like, yes, this variable is of that type, or no, it's not. So what this is basically saying is, am I asking like, is this card I just constructed, is that a card? And it'll say, true, because yes, it is. If I say, is this string bar, is that a card? And Python will say, no, no, it is not. So we can do something like this.
Can't believe you didn't write 8 of farts.
8 of farts?
Yep.
How old are you?
It It would have been less things to type.
I guess. Instance X. Okay. Whoop. So let's look at this validate method. So what validate does is we iterate through our deck. Assign it to the variable x. So if x is not a card instance, then we return false. If we make it through the entire deck and we haven't returned false yet, then we can just go ahead and return true. So validating the deck doesn't really make sense for like what's outside the deck to do, right? Think of it this way: like you have, you see like, let's see, what do I have close by that's really fun? Nope, I'm not showing that on stream because that is going to lead to very bad things. Let's find something else. Let's see, what's good? Oh, alright, perfect. I have one of these lying around. Let me turn on the light too so maybe you guys can see me better. So here's a good way to explain private methods. So I have a PS Move controller. And the PS Move controller has a lot of cool things you can do publicly, right? Like, namely, it has buttons you can press. It's like if you can imagine, like there'd be like a press triangle button, and a press square button, and a press X button, and a press circle button, and a little press trigger thing, whatever. But then there's probably private methods. There's probably little things on the inside that they don't want you to do because it's protected by screws and warranties. I'm sure there's a screw underneath this warranty sticker, and I can't take it apart. So think of when you think of these methods, think of private methods as things that would void the warranty if someone outside... No, I'm not showing you what it was. Alright, fine. I will show you what it is, but you have to promise to never bring it up on the stream ever. You can't ask me to interact with it ever again.
I know what it is.
I know you know what it is.
I figured that's what it was. Okay.
Because, it's been sitting on my table. So think of private methods as things that void the warranty, right? That's kind of an interesting way of looking at it. Yeah, I don't trust you guys to do that either, so it will forever be a mystery. So, like, validating doesn't really make sense to do outside the class. Now, it would make sense to do it like this, like if not validate, or if not actually self validate. So it would make sense to do something like, no, it's not a dildo, Jesus. Like, it's safe for work. Like, I could show it on stream and be fine, but I know where that's going to lead, and I don't want to deal with it. So, what was I saying? So, it makes sense to, like, validate something from the inside, right? Like the deck, it would make sense for the deck to validate itself after construction. But it doesn't really make sense for, whatever's using the deck to validate it. Right? So that makes sense. So you can have these little private methods. This underscore in front is just like little kind of standard. Like I said, I can still do, deck dot, validate underscore, and that will be fine. Like, it'll still run that, but you really shouldn't do it, right? Like, you just kind of look and that looks wrong. Okay. So does that make sense? Any questions on like private methods? And for those who are asking, in Java, it's really fun because you have to explicitly say, where's my Java? There it is. You have to say, like public, 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 but you can say like, private, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So that's how you mark things as private there. Okay. So any questions on private methods before I move on to kind of the last topic of the day? So, I mean, sure, they can return something. Like, this returns true and false. Like, I can do, print deck.validate. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, there it is. So it'll, return just fine. What's the point? So, it's really nice because you want to break up functionality, right? Like for all the same reasons that you would want to use methods and functions like outside of classes, like we've kind of talked about in the beginning class. You Sometimes it just makes sense to have things internally. Now, if I actually add a second underscore here, and you do underscore underscore validate, that will actually prevent that from happening. It will complain that, hey, you can't call underscore underscore validate. So it's exactly what Lopsidation said. It's just etiquette, though if you do double underscores, it will prevent it at the language level. I honestly I never bother, but you do what you do.
I know a single underscore is don't don't reference this in
Y-
a JavaScript. Don't
yeah,
directly.
don't directly. Yeah. All right.
Doesn't mean you can't.
It
It
doesn't mean you
means you
can't. It just means you
shouldn't.
shouldn't. I mean,
Yeah.
even in Java, there are ways to make. There are dirty, dirty things you can do to um, access public. You can like call public methods, but that is such bullshit that we don't even have to talk about. Wolf Darrigan, you're gonna have to try that out yourself. All right. So no more questions about. All right. I'll give actually one more minute for questions about um, private methods. Function pointers? Nope. Not nope. Function pointers, Gblies. Nope. You don't have to decompile bytecode to turn private into public. I mean, I suppose you could, but no, that's not how you do it. Exactly. Easy side got it. Yeah, you just do reflection. I had to do something like that. I had to use reflection for that once. So yeah, if you want to do something like that, that's basically you would do the same thing for do I have a secret dog? No, I do not.
I would have been so sad if you had a dog and I didn't meet that dog while I was at your place.
Where could I have possibly hidden a dog?
I know.
All right. Oh God. Oh dear God. Azul Flame. All right. So let's move on. So let's talk about relationships and objects, right? We have two relationships and classes. So we have two classes here, right? We have a class called card and we have a class called deck. Now, these have a relationship called a has a relationship. That's HASA. Whoops, I don't know how to type. Has a, right? Because a deck has a card. Well, it has many cards, but it's a deck has cards, right? Now, has a is not the only kind of relationship that there is. Um, or actually, before we go on to talk about other relationships, everyone understands that like a deck has a card or deck has cards, right? That kind of contains relationship, right? Like a car has wheels, like that is a relationship to cars and wheels. Da, 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 da. 2x speed? Why would you ever want to speed through my shit?
Because a lot of it is distracted by something else. Ooh,
Whatever.
look.
I'm a man of the people. I get distracted by the people.
It's fine.
It is fine. She's so fun. Never mind. All right, cool. So I'm going to assume that everyone understands that, yes, has a relationship. That makes sense. So now let's talk about one other relationship that's kind of an interesting one. We're going to call it an is-a relationship. Now, these don't have that relationship, so let's think about something that does. Let's do class point, or class pixel. Whoops, and then, so def init. So like a pixel, right, has like an x position and a y position. So self.x equals x, self.y equals y. We'll give a simple little method like def, I don't know, distance from origin. We've probably done something really similar to this before, like return, you know, self.x squared plus self.y squared. And then the square root of that, right? So like distance from origin. Okay. Anything else? And then I guess def, we'll give it a string method or a stringify thing here. We'll say return. I'm just gonna be lazy. All right. Pixel like 10, 11, p2 equals pixel 11, 12. You know, print p1, print p2. So I'll run this and we'll get, you know, this little thing. Like hopefully this should be all pretty boring at this point. Right? Like hopefully, like this is all super obvious, right? All stupid obvious. Type hurry the fuck up if this is super obvious. Yeah, this is Python 2.
Sorry, I just spammed your chat with your
I see.
intro.
Yeah, I see
Because
that.
there's 3 different Nightbot commands for
Are there?
it.
Oh my god, you're right. Holy god. Alright. Wolf Darrigan knows what's going on. Anyone else?
I rarely know what's going
Hey, me too. I just fake it real well.
on, right?
Yeah, I just fake it real well. Alright, so good. I see nobody complaining, so I'm gonna assume everyone's like, yep, this makes sense.
Thank you, Steph. Thorough. Thorough with the commands.
So now, what if we wanted to add like a pixel with colors, like a color pixel, right? Because the pixel is not only an x and a y. So this actually, you know what? Let's actually call this point. No, never mind. Let's just keep that pixel. So now let's say we want to do like a color pixel, right? Because, you know, when you do a pixel display on your screen, right, it's got an X and a Y and it has a color associated with it, right? And we'll be super simpleton people and we'll say like, we'll use color as a string, right? So like the string red, string blue, whatever, right? There's 16 colors. Who cares a shit? But now here's the thing. We want all of these methods to still work, right? Like I want this distance from origin. Like I don't want to, like, I mean, yeah, I can do something like class color pixel and then do like definite self x y, whoops, y color self dot x equals x, self dot y equals y, self dot color equals color, and then, you know, I'm just gonna fucking copy and paste this bullshit because I don't feel like typing it all again. You know, you type that, and then, you know, we'll need this, and then maybe we'll just add something, and it is alright. So fine, that was a huge pain in the ass because look at all of this duplicated code, right? Like basically half of this is the exact same thing. So what we're going to talk about is now inheritance, because now keep in mind, you can only do inheritance in these kind of is-a relationships, right? Because you're bringing all of this code along with it. So let me type out some code and then I'm going to explain what I'm doing and then we'll talk. All right? So what I'm going to do is I'm just delete all this crap.
You're typing up code. I'm
Yeah.
going to say goodnight.
No.
Night here. Thank you, VTM.
Oops.
Yeah, it is bedtime for me. You're gonna have to read all of the questions that people ask.
I'm gonna
Pay
be
attention to
so
chat.
lost.
You'll be fine. Good night, everybody.
Good.
Enjoy learning.
Good night, Tune.
Good night, Hummus.
All right. All right. Whoop. Just kill all that. Kill all that. All right. So let's talk about what we wrote here. So we say class color pixel, but now we have this new thing, like this pixel in parentheses. Basically, what this is telling Python, like, hey, all right, I'm declaring a class called color pixel, and I want you to inherit, I want you to base it on this other class called pixel, which is, this up here, right? We know that already. So then all I have to do is I just have to write the things that are different. So, I create this little the initializer because, we need to deal with the color, like it needs to take the color in, but we still take the X and Y. This is like a neat little trick for calling the initializer in pixel, right? Like no reason to write this again. We can just call it like this. Note that when you do it this way, you have to explicitly put the self in. And then we set the color to itself, and then we override the REPR, the stringify method, to be our kind of color format, right? We're going to talk about overloading in just a second. And then we didn't write anything about distance from origin, but that just kind of comes along for the ride anyway. Because of inheritance, right? And if you look, I call distance from origin here, and it works just fine, because in this inheritance, basically you're telling Python, hey, just bring everything, and then I will tell you what is different. No, I don't do... Yeah, you can do super, but it gets kind of messy. Yeah, we're not going to talk about multiple inheritance, because multiple inheritance is... Oh, God. As anyone who writes C++ will tell you, the deadly diamond and all that shit. Cool. So, so let's talk about this, right? So, let's do this. Get rid of that. So notice that when P1, right, is a pixel, P3 is a color pixel, right? So when I call, print P1, Python is smart enough to know that, this is a normal pixel, so use this version of the string, or of REPR, and it knows, oh, P3 is a color pixel. Like, it's smart. It figures out, while it's executing, it's like, okay, what type is this box? And it goes and executes the proper version. Does that make sense? Does anyone have questions about this? Yes, lopsidation. So I can do print p3 dot distance from origin, and that will work just fine. And it will do that because a color pixel is a pixel as well. It does everything pixel can do, but it also does more, right? And now, if we go back to kind of our card and deck thing, so like if you do class deck, and extends card or inherits from card, like that makes no sense because a deck isn't a card. It contains cards, but it is not a card itself. Like things that you can do to cards, you should not be able to do to decks. So this, don't ever do this. Like if I see this in an interview, that's like a really big red flag when people get that wrong. Yeah, we'll add another pixel. Python's typing, we're not going to go into Python's type system, but suffice to say it acts close enough to like poly. Like it's not like in Java, right, where you like have like you declare types of references and then it does like, I mean it basically does that more or less, and it, it figures out what's the runtime type of this object and blah 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 blah, like the dynamic dispatch thing. It basically does that, it just kind of hides it a lot from you. Okay, so any questions about this? All right, we're going to do a quiz then. What does the can do? Okay, so I've added this method called translate, which basically just moves a point, right? So we'll ignore the color pixel stuff for now. I'll just comment it out. So I'll print p1 and then p1 dot translate -2, -3, or +3, why not, and then print p1 again. And I will actually even do this. All right, so what this is going to do is it creates a point at 10, 10, right? Here's the distance from the origin. Then we translate, so -2 to x plus 3 to y. So -2 to x plus 3 to y, right? Like this should be pretty self-explanatory, right? Why this works. And then we print the distance from origin again, and you can see it calculates the new distance. No, can do isn't really a thing, no. It is, but we're not going to talk about it. Like Python, like if you're talking about like interfaces and stuff, like Python does have that, like abstract classes, like abstract base classes and things like that. We're not going to deal with that. Yeah, I mean, yeah. So there are ways to kind of do that sort of behavior, but it's like duck typing really makes that kind of not work in like the way it would work with like Java. Yeah, like what Easy Sai said. It's like because everything is like super dynamically typed, you don't need to do that because like so as an aside, if you don't know what interfaces are for a second, you can just kind of like ignore me for the next 30 seconds. So like interfaces are things to like do like static compile time guarantees, right? Like I guarantee this compiler or this class has this functionality, and the compiler can guarantee that for you. Python just doesn't give a fuck, and it'll just try and error out when it happens. There are ways you can do like abstract base classes and things like that in Python, but they're kind of hacky and whatever. Okay, so now you can start paying attention again. What's up, Terraria fan? 1010. I am teaching Python. Okay. So this block of code, does this make sense to everyone? Give me a thumbs up if it makes sense. Like why this prints that. Uh-oh. Yeah, I don't have any like plugins or anything. Oh, okay. Did not even know Seems Good was a thing. Alright, cool. I am clearly an expert Twitch person. Okay. So now, what if I do this? What will this print? We'll just make this. So now P1 is a color pixel instead of a regular pixel. What is this going to do? What is this going to print? Who can tell me? We'll make it a little easier. We'll make this at 1010 instead of at 11, so you won't have to redo numbers. What is this going to print? Alright, so I see an exactly the same. I see a... I don't know how to interpret that, Nanthalis. I see exactly the same, but with a color. Alright. So yeah, this will print 1010 and it is red. Then the same distance from origin. The translate will happen. And since we don't change translate here, we're just going to use this one again. And then we're going to say 813 and it is red. And then the new distance from origin. Right, so does this make sense why this prints like this? Any questions on why that happens like that? Because we're going to go one step further and then I think we're going to call it good. Is Python passed by reference or by value? Um, I will leave that as an exercise to the reader. You write a program and you tell me what it does, Lumashi. Like it's really easy to figure out. That's right. I'm gonna teach you folks how to fish instead of catching them for you. All right. So I see no questions about why that works. All right. Cool. So now I'm going to do this. Oops. All right. Nice Miniman. All right, so I added another little print p1. So I added a new method called change color that just basically takes a new color and it sets the color itself. And then I've called it and then print p1 again. So what's up, Buttercork? Yes, Buttercork does bring up a good point. And I think you were the one who said you know Java, so you should know to make that little distinction. Anyway, so what is this print? What is this new line print here? Yep. All right. So I see a couple correct answers. So yeah, this will basically just add another little line, 8, 13, and it is blue. So pretty simple. All right. So now for the fun thing. What if this is no longer a color pixel and I turn it back into a regular pixel? What's going to happen? What will this print? And then after this, I think we're going to call it a night. Well, I doodle. Da 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 da. So yeah, I think people kind of figured it out. If we do that, it's going to complain that, yeah, pixel has no attribute change color. Because P1 is now a normal pixel, there's no change color, right? Like, and if you think about it, like, changing the color of a normal pixel makes no sense because it doesn't have the concept of a color, right? Okay, so any questions on anything we've talked about? Because other than that, I think I'm ready to kind of call this lesson good. While I look for the other tab I'm looking for. Yes, it does, Lumashi. I'll wait like another minute for any questions, and then... So the real answer, Lumashi, is it has to do with whether what you're passing around is mutable or immutable. Because like strings in Python, for example, are immutable, right? Unlike some other scripting languages, Ruby. State sucks. All right. Anyway, yeah. All right. So homework. So I'm gonna give homework out in two different ways because I really, because I want to try this. So I'm actually gonna shrink this real quick. All right, I think this works. All right, so they gave me this like Python, or the REPL folks are awesome, and they gave me like a teacher account to check out. So I'm gonna do that. If you want to join the class online, this is the link right here. So I'll just give you that. So if you want to do it that way, fine. You should be able to see the homework there. And of course, for those who are new, homework is like totally optional. I usually grade them like Monday nights or so. And by grade, I mean like I look at them and I'll give you a little bit of feedback. So like anyone who sent me homework from last week, probably got a message from me, or definitely did get a message from me last night. If you don't want to do that, like if you don't want to sign up for, if you don't want to sign up for an account, that's fine. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to just kind of copy this, and I'll make kind of the traditional way. And you can do the homework here. So either one of those is fine. As always, if you submit them by the end of, probably by like Monday afternoon, I will get back to you with some feedback. And I think that's it for class number 2. If you want to stick around, I'm going to work on some kind of just other random Python projects. And that's about it. So thank you all for watching. I will be back in like a couple minutes. And yeah, it is cool. So super thanks to the REPL IT folks for getting me a teacher account. So we'll see how it goes. Because I definitely owe them some feedback on. Because yeah, like they sent me an email. Like they're like, hey, Clockwork Sev, thank you for the yeah, they should all be regular. Come on, man, it's not that hard. Use your there's a lot of leeway with this one, so I just want to see what you guys come up with. All right. I guess line doesn't really have perimeter, but it's okay. All right. Anyway, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah. So if you want to stick around, I will. Oh yeah. No, I was talking about the email. So yeah, the REPL.IT people were like, oh yeah, we stumbled upon your stream. That's really cool. We didn't think about people like using it for live streams, so please, like, anything you want us to add, please let us know and we'll see about adding it. So I'm like, dude, that's totally awesome. So we're gonna see how this goes, and I have some things to email them. So special thanks to repl.it for giving me an account. So like I said, if I'm gonna take a quick break, if you want to hang around for the next part, I'm just going to kind of work on some side projects. I'm going to basically finish the Spy Party drafting thing, and that's it. So I will be back in a few minutes.